everyone, it's Janae with Daily Dental Hygiene, and today's topic is going to be about temping. This is one of my favorite topics because I'm actually really passionate about temping. I know that there's a lot of pros and cons to temping, and I think that there is a lot of misunderstanding about temping and how it can actually be a really good setup. So I personally work about 3 days a week and I temp about 1 day a week. I started temping when I started my very first job. I worked Monday through Thursday and I hated my job. This was my very first job ever as a hygienist, and I want to say after 2 months, I wanted to give up on hygiene. I really disliked it. And it was the environment. It wasn't that I was a bad hygienist and that I didn't connect with my patients. I had a lot of great Yelp reviews. I constantly had compliments about my work, but I was very unhappy with the atmosphere that I was in. And that makes or breaks a practice, right? If you don't like the people that you're with on a daily basis, you don't like how things are being ran, it can be soul sucking. And that's why we hear the word burnout all the time. Well, burnout is a mindset. Burnout is a situation that is very poor, that is causing you to not enjoy your life. And that's totally changeable. Burnout is not forever. You can change that. So what I started doing is I started temping on Fridays. Google temp agencies, ask other hygienists. A lot of us are part of different temp agencies that we love. And just be sure to get the background, how much do I get paid a day? How many patients am I gonna see? I personally use a temp agency that I like. I get paid $3.75 for the day. The dentist will give me a check at the end of the day. I see 8 patients and I get 1 hour per patient. And I like it temping because my temp rep is not gonna put me in a super crappy office with a dentist that's gonna destroy me for the day. She wouldn't do that to a hygienist. So I know that with her, I'm always going to be in a good dental hygiene office. If you do independent temping, for example, you have your own profile and you communicate with different offices and they bid their prices, just be sure you're clear, right? How much am I gonna get paid for the day? Is it hourly or is it by the day? Because if you were paid by the hour and 3 patients didn't show up, that kind of sucks. So make sure you know what the pay is. Is it a 1099 or a W-2 if you're working there multiple days? And, are you going to get a check at the end of the day? Are they going to mail it? Is it going to take 3 weeks to get to you? And how long is it going to take for each patient? So make sure you write down your Q&As so that you're not blindsided by an office. That's never cool. But I personally do temping through an agency that I like, and I will literally text the woman, hey, I'm off on Friday. Do you have any jobs for me? And she'll immediately send me a dentist within a 10-mile radius of my home. She'll say, show up to here by Dr. So-and-so. The shift is gonna be from 8 to 5, 1 hour lunch. The pay is $3.75, 8 patients per day. This is the address. And it's super simple, right? And I can just boom, get more pay that way. So that's one way to do dental temping. You can either independently do it or you can do it through a company that finds the people for you. Pros and cons to both. So why I started dental temping is, like I said, I was unhappy at my job and I was over it. I was totally over it. And temping actually completely changed my mindset about dentistry. I started going to different offices on Fridays and temping on Fridays and realizing, holy crap, some of these dentists are really nice. The staff is super friendly to me. People are helpful. People help me with my trays and my room. And I'm not worked like a slave and condescended and talked down to. Oh my God, my office is a crappy office. And it made me realize that dentistry doesn't suck. My situation sucked. My burnout was from my situation. And I started temping at other offices, and I ended up temping at one office in particular for about 6 months for a woman on maternity leave, and I loved it. I love the office. I love the dentist. I love the staff. I loved the patients, and it was an incredible experience. And it really turned my perspective around because I was honestly over dentistry. I know with COVID, things are crazy, and it's really nice to have a backup like temping, because if you get called off, for example, on a random Wednesday, it's kind of nice that you can just boom, find work real quick. show up at an office and make your money, get your check at the end of the day, and it's really flexible, right? I can always pick up a temp job or I don't have to, but I like it that it's quick cash right then and there. I worked today on this Tuesday. I got this check at the end of the day. Perfect. I got my money and I'm good to go. Another reason I like temping is if you're a mom or you have, a lifestyle in which you want to keep your hands wet in dentistry, but you don't want to commit to a full-time job. Totally easy to work 3 days a week temping and be able to take the week on or the week off, depending on if you want more money or not. I also like it because you get to see what else is out there. You might think your office is awesome, and then you temp at other offices and you're like, holy crap, they've got the better instruments, they've got the better operatory setups, they get more time with patients, people help them way more there, the assistants are way more helpful. So it's good. You get to see within a 10-mile radius, a 5-mile radius, whatever you set your radius to, what offices are out there. And I, at the end of most of my temp days, will have the dentist ask me, hey, do you usually have Mondays off like this? I'm looking for someone every Monday. And that's a great way to either pick up a full-time Monday gig or however many days they need you. But you get to see, right? Because if you didn't like that office for the day, perfect. It was only one day. You'd never have to go back again. Whereas when you sign up for a job and you do one working interview, it's really hard to tell if you like an office or not. Everyone's going to put on their best behavior and be mighty helpful and awesome because they want you to work there. Temping is great because I feel like everyone's guard's a little bit down. They're not so much freaking out trying to find a hygienist to fill those days. So you kind of get to see how the team really works and integrates better together. But I really like temping. My thing though is if you're looking to temp, I kind of came up with this method at like 3 a.m., not able to sleep one night. Say you're looking for a job and you start temping. This is a really good trick. And you temp at a place and you generally like the place. Okay, well, you can never tell how much you like a place from like 6 hours. It's impossible. I mean, how many times have you dated somebody and they're awesome, and then 2 weeks later you're like, holy crap, this person's a psycho? Dating and temping and dentistry is very similar, right? You've got to do the tango to figure out who's going to long-term be the good match and good fit for you. So what I came up with is, for example, you like working at this place, you work there for the day, seems like a really good place to work. Instead of committing to every Monday with them, say, hey, I really like temping, I really like my flexibility, but I really like your office. How about for the next month, I work every Monday here, and then we can go from there. Boom, now you get to see 4 days in this practice. You get to see more and more about the patient charts, how they do the billing, how the dentist is he good? Is he totally corrupt? Like, you get to see this stuff because you're gonna be there 4 days. So you can kind of like do the FBI investigation into the whole system to see how they're really practicing. And then if you don't like it, you don't have to commit. You can be like, great, that was awesome. I kind of decided I want to keep my Mondays open. And you don't have to even say anything after that. And then nobody's feelings hurt, and boom, you can start temping at another office or do whatever you want. But I never want any of my people to be trapped. So consider dental temping. It's really a good way to see what offices are out there, all the good, bad, and ugly. And kind of just overall, flexibility is great. I mean, who doesn't want quick, easy cash? Not easy, but you know what I mean? Like, you show up at an office, and I don't know about you, but my office is pretty demanding. If I have downtime, there's a list of things I need to do, whereas when you temp at an office, they're usually not gonna kill you. You're temping for the day, so they're gonna be super helpful. The front office, the assistants, the dentist, because obviously you don't know where anything in the office is. So it's kind of just a fun way to like do hygiene for the day and not have crazy expectations that you would have maybe at a general practice like I am at. So consider dental temping. Worst comes to worst, you do it for the day, you don't like it, you don't have to do it again, you don't have to go back to that office, but you might just fall in love with a certain practice and find your dream place. So why not temp?